You know, Sonia, most parents are not art connoisseurs. They aren't music aficionados, but they can really appreciate art and music, but they might feel a little intimidated about how to teach it to their kids. I know you have a very unique and gentle approach to that. Could you tell us about it?
Yes, I think that it's especially important now, if I could just add, to give our children beautiful things to look at and beautiful music to listen to. Those types of things can feed the soul. There's so much scary information floating around today, and maybe some scary images as well. So if we can give our children beautiful art and beautiful music, I think we are doing them a great service. And an
Mm-hmm.
easy way to do this, let's start with art, for example. Pick an artist and just get one of his pictures or her pictures. You could bring it up on your computer screen, or if you have a book with that picture in it, look at the book. Just hold up that picture and have everyone look at it until they can close their eyes and see that picture clearly in their mind's eye. Every detail in place. When they're ready, they've got that picture hanging in the art gallery of their mind.
Hmm.
Then turn that picture around, or close the computer lid, or shut the book, hide the picture somehow, and say, okay, describe the picture to me. And let the children try and tell you everything they can remember about that picture. Once they have told you everything they can remember, then turn it back around and look at it again. Because there's probably going to be some things that they want to clarify, or maybe some things that need to be confirmed. Yes, you were right. There were 7 pins in that pin cushion that nobody else counted, something like that. And then after you've looked at it again, just put it on display somewhere for the rest of the week. Really, you only have to, you could do this once a week,
Hmm.
a little picture study like that. And if you want to stick with the same artist for several weeks in a row, that will give your child a real personal relation with that artist's style. You don't have to expound on it. You don't have to say, please notice how he used the brush strokes or his use of shadow, or like you said, so many of us could not do that. But
Yes.
just looking at that picture and trying to describe it without looking, and then look again. Then next week, do another picture by that same artist, same steps. After you've done that for about 6 of that artist's works, you're going to have a pretty good feel for that artist's style.
Hmm.
So that's a real easy way to do art appreciation.
Mm-hmm. That's such a beautiful idea to think of it in terms of building a relationship with the artist, or even I know you'll speak to the composer as well. And so I'm sure reading books about the artist, going on websites and learning about them too, and was also wonderful ways to help build that art gallery of the mind. I love that so much. So what about a composer? How would that relationship begin?
It's a lot that's similar. You can focus on one composer at a time for several weeks, just as you do with one artist. But what you would do with a composer is play that composer's music often. So maybe it would be during cleanup time, I'm going to
Hmm.
play this composer's music,
Oh, I like
or as background music during lunch. Or some of it depends on how rambunctious that composer's music
that.
is, It might be good music for cleanup time, but you don't want to play it for nap time or bedtime.
Right.
So keep that in mind. But just play it often. And when you turn it on, mention the composer's name. Just say, let's listen to Bach. Turn it on. That way the children will start to connect that name with that music that they're hearing. So it doesn't have to be big, elaborate, explain all of this. Just say the composer's name, turn it on. But then if you want to take it a step further, once a week you can do a focused listening time to one of that composer's works. So it's been playing in the background often during the week. We're getting familiar with the style and what it feels like. Now, maybe we're going to sit down and say, okay, let's listen to Minuet in G, Beethoven's Minuet in G, and give the children a chance to respond to it. Maybe they want to draw what it makes them think of, or maybe they want to come up with a story that music goes with, or maybe they want to move the way it makes them feel like moving. Maybe they're marching, or maybe they're dancing like a polka, or with the minuet, maybe they're spinning, whatever it is. But give them a chance to respond to that music. And that would be your focused listening time, if you want to take it a little step further. And then, as you mentioned, same thing, if you want to elaborate on your relationship with that composer, then read books about that composer and get to know that composer as a person. Maybe find out the background information, what was happening when that particular piece was written. So those are some ideas just to make it a very easy part of your everyday life, to add the good music and the good art to your children.
I love that. Just saying the words minuet in G makes me feel smarter. So I think that I could be a better teacher just saying these things out loud. But I think that that is one of the wonderful things that we're talking about, is, as an aside, is the learning alongside your children. We're not talking about you being an expert before you teach about Bach and Minuet in G, or Van Gogh's famous paintings. We're talking about the fun of getting to learn these things together alongside your kids, deciding what you like and don't like, and what's good music for washing the dishes and what's better music for nap time. Those are all great tips, Sonya. Thank you so much.